in 15 seconds. I'm gonna figure
All right. Welcome back to the Nub. I'm the Murse.
Felton.
And the bald bearded bard.
And we are going to talk about how to make the best pumpkin spice lattes. Because that's just how we do. No. Actually, I completely slipped my mind last podcast. I think we were just kind of flying by the seat of our pants on the last one, so I'm going to rein in a little bit on this one. I want to talk about Jurassic World 3. Have you guys heard about this yet? What they're going to do for Jurassic World 3?
I think so, yes.
I think so.
Yeah, so I guess they're bringing back a good portion of the original cast to be in this one, which I feel like they have to do because the second movie, the second Jurassic World movie, was not good. Like, it was just not good, in my opinion.
I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, I was not really down with it. The first one was fantastic.
I don't think I watched it either, actually.
Yeah, I did, and it was bad. It mainly took place in a mansion. I'm just like, no, this is not good. But yeah, I guess they're gonna be bringing back a good portion of the cast. Let me click on this here real quick.
Oh, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Okay, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, and actually, there we go. Oh, my computer just want to take its time this time. So yeah, they're bringing back Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern for this one. So that's pretty cool. I'm very excited about that because I still, even after seeing the crappy Jurassic World 2, I still love the whole Jurassic Park franchise. So I'm excited that they're doing that again. And one of the other things I want to bring up real quick before I turn over the microphone, as it were, Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding, and a lot of other things too. I think majority of people that know Sid Haig know him from doing like House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects and stuff like that from the Rob Zombie movies. I know that you, Felton, aren't as familiar, but what about you, Triple B? Do you know
I
Captain
knew
Spaulding?
of him. I knew. I mean, I would recognize him. But I never really got into those movies. So, but
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a big horror fan. I love Rob Zombie. Yeah, they're more gore porn, but I still enjoy them. And it was a loss to see that he passed away, but he was relatively old, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say he was in his 70s, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he bringing to life that evil clown character that he did for those movies is just fantastic, you know?
Google says he was 80.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's lived a life. You know, he's been acting forever. He was doing movies back in the '60s, so he's been acting forever. But it was just, it's always sad when you see, a beloved character pass away, a beloved character actor pass away. So just wanted to bring those two things up. And now that I brought the podcast down and made everybody sad, let's turn it over to Felton and give us some video game or some kind of electronic news.
Well, now that we've brought it down and we're sad, let's switch it up a little bit and be absolutely horrified.
Okay.
I saw a video from this YouTube channel. It's called Control Shift Face.
Okay.
I'll face. I'll go ahead. I'll post a link to the channel right here, live in action. So that's a link to his page. Okay, what he does is he makes what they call deepfake. A deepfake is a video where you use deep learning algorithms to take somebody's face, and you have basically what they're calling an AI, and it goes in and you feed it a huge sample of the source face. So, for example, what he did in this video, he has a huge catalog of videos he's made. But what he did in this video is he fed him high-resolution images of Trump, and he overlaid Trump's face on a scene from Better Call Saul. So, interesting, that's cool, okay. Normally you would just have him... What's that?
I was just going to say, I saw them do this with... I want to say it was Bill Fader, when he
Bill
does
Hader,
his in
yeah,
person,
yeah, that's actually the
where he
same.
does.
Yeah, same channel.
Oh, so that's the one. Okay,
Yeah,
all
he
right.
did that.
So go ahead. I'm
But
sorry.
this
Where
is a
you-
little bit more a little bit more intense than that because what they've also
it freaks
done.
me out though.
Well, watch this video because what happens is they went ahead and built an AI model or a completely synthesized Trump voice that adds inflection, whatever.
Inflections.
Yeah. So it basically imitates Trump. So basically, they fed this thing a script of what he was saying in this scene, and you have a completely AI generated voice that sounds convincingly like Trump with his face now in this scene with pretty good. I mean, you can tell that his face is a little bit higher resolution than the scene, but that is pretty convincing. I mean, and considering that this is all computers doing it, and it's not somebody going in editing every single frame. I mean, that is an incredible feat that this is the position where we're in now, where you can create a complete fakery of anybody and anything. Granted, the disclaimer there being, you need to have enough of a source of, so obviously it's going to be mostly celebrities because you're not going to be sitting there, not everybody is going to be able to make deep fakes of any given person. You need to have quite a bit of media out there, some voice samples, photos and whatnot to make something good quality. But this is just kind of scary, this really implicates. Okay.
It reminds me of the Running Man.
Yeah.
Remember the Running Man where, they superimpose the live versions of the contestants, in like in Hawaii and things like that, and they bring the actual images of them as dead corpses.
Yeah, they use the video of Arnold Schwarzenegger killing the people to justify him being in this contest.
Yeah, but that was more edited. I'm talking about like later when they were showing the superimposed versions of
okay, I got you.
the contestants and stuff.
Yeah, but this is this is basically, I don't want to say it's basically the same thing because it's not, and I know there's a distinction there. But
yeah,
if you watch the video, when you get a chance, it's horrifying because the age of evidence is over. Like video means absolutely nothing in court now, because Your Honor, my client's innocent. This was a deep fake, and he didn't do these things. So I motion the case to be dismissed.
I'm gonna have to remember this when I murder somebody.
Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't me. That's just a deep fake of me doing it.
God, it's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it is. That's it's pretty scary, and it's just we just don't live in a good world. That's all.
All right, I just can't. All right. Before I throw it over to the Triple B for that hot dose of Kickstarter, I just want to bring up to Triple B and I are both going to be going out for this Top Cow competition, basically for either writers or artists. They're doing like an open submission contest thing where you can submit to them, but you have to use their character, The Darkness, or their series, The Darkness, and characters from that series in your submission. So if anybody's interested, I think if you go to the Top Cow website, if I'm not mistaken, you can probably get that information. Anybody wants to participate in it. But I personally didn't know anything about The Darkness. I'm just now learning about The Darkness. And man, I feel like I've been missing out for a long time now. Triple B, I know that you not only know about The Darkness, but you actually love this series, correct?
Yeah, I had the first issues when they first came out years ago, and so I've kind of grown up with Top Cow. I was in my early teens when they got started, and so I've loved.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's another Garth Ennis, correct?
Yeah, he did a bunch of it. It's been around for, somewhere around 20 years now. So a lot of different fingers in that particular pie.
Absolutely, yeah. Some of the source material I picked up by different writers, and both were just as good. Why don't you give a synopsis to those of us who were missing out on that for 20 years of what the darkness is? I mean, it's a minor synopsis, obviously, because there's a lot to the story.
So basically, the darkness is this entity that is passed on from father to son, and at the moment that the son is conceived. So it follows the current incarnation of the darkness is Jackie Estacado, and he's a hitman for the mafia. And once he turns 18, the darkness manifests, and if he has sex and it conceives a child, he dies, and the darkness passes on to the baby. So
Yeah.
it is about this.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's about this mafia hitman who's trying to deal with not only being a hitman for the mafia, but also having this supernatural ability, and sex being incredibly life-threatening from this moment.
Yeah. There's that to it. I guess it's actually a spin-off, correct? Hello?
Oh,
It's connected to the rest of the Top Cow mythos, and is often connected to the Witchblade. If that's what.
Okay. I think I got cut off there for a second. That was weird. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it now, and I can't wait to write something in that universe. But so yeah, I want to bring that up. Now that we've talked about that, why don't you give us that hot dose of Kickstarter news?
So, oops. So we're going with a board. This is it's called Time of Legends Destinies, a narrative app-driven RPG-like board game experience like no other, and it has been funded. Looks like, 4 or 5 times over.
Oh wow. Who's the developer on this one?
Lucky Duck Games.
Okay. I'm not familiar with them, but man,
Yeah,
I
out
love
of
me.
Poland.
I love me some tabletop RPG board games, man. I love them,
I love
especially
me
if
some
they
Polish sausage. It's really good.
and I love me some Lucky Ducks actually. So
This looks like a huge game. Lots of miniatures and pieces, and
oh my
there's an
god.
app to go with it. And the pledges start at $50.
Okay, that's actually reasonable. $50 for a board game is very reasonable.
Sure, yeah.
Damn, I can feel the tingle starting, like the addiction. Like I might have to go check this. I might have to check this one out myself. It's trapped for cash these days, but man, I don't know. I might have to.
Right? I mean, it just looks gorgeous.
Might have to go sell myself on the street a couple times. And
Oh, there's only 2 pledge levels. There's the $50 and
I think you cut out that last part.
$50 and $80 are the only pledge levels.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. There's stretch
and
goals
then
as well.
The second one gets you the Sea of Sand expansion and the Myth and Folklore.
Okay,
We look
I'm
at stretch goals here.
I'm definitely gonna have to check this one out. So, let's see. Talked about the Kickstarter news. Now we've got some interesting, crazy, scary face swapping stuff going on. We talked about some of the stuff that's going on in the local community, losing Sid Haig and talking about darkness in that competition. So what else nerdy is going on in your lives, guys?
Well, we have the there's this horror film event coming up, and I've been trying to remember it, but I think I'm just gonna have to go on Facebook and look it up.
Are you talking about the Rubik's?
Oh no, it's a horror thing that's going on. I think it's Titusville or Port St. John or something. Son of a gun. Hold on. Ooh, well, Facebook has events. Here we go. Picture Show Panic.
Yeah, that's not the Rubik's?
No,
It's not being
in
hosted at the
Titusville.
Rubik's?
No, it's in Titusville.
Oh, okay. I swear there's something related to that being hosted at the. Now I'm gonna have to look. But while I'm looking, you go ahead and tell us about that.
So it looks like it's going to be a neat event. It's going to be obviously they're going to have some. I think what's going on is they're going to have some indie horror films. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Their mission statement: come celebrate horror, make spooky new friends, one day only. So it's a horror film fest. They've got vendors, food trucks, and some scary short films. There we go. That's what it is. It's like independent short films. So I would really like to go to this. It seems like it's going to be kind of a cool little thing. Hopefully,
I'd love to go then.
Hopefully, maybe I can do it up as old Beetlejuice, or maybe I'll bring the Hitcher along and hang out, because I've been wanting to do the Hitcher for a while. Hold on, let me see if I... No, there we go.
I can't see anything on their website, on their Facebook. Where are they?
Oh, it's going to be at the Titusville Mall Cinema, October 19th.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to have to check that. We're definitely going to have to check. We're going to go together.
They also have they have a feature list here. I'm going to pull it over into the video here, but we've got Germ Spiders, Horror Art, Kevin Cleveland illustration, Frightmares, CWK Art. Rubik's is going to be there, I think. Okay, so...
I see that now. Yep.
Okay, they're going to be represented there. Haunt Scene. I mean, there's just... It looks like there's a lot of great local groups. You know my thoughts. I love supporting local conventions, local things, so I just think it's going to be great. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that about me.
I did not know that. No, I wish you had told me that. We could have started a podcast and a page dedicated to helping out.
Man, it could be united.
Yeah, and it could like involve a bunch of nerds and stuff. Where would it be located though?
Probably in Brevard and beyond.
Well, we still can't say beyond yet because somebody hasn't, put the little tack on yet.
Oh, you know what? I gotta do that.
Felton. Felton.
Come on. You know what? I'm gonna do it here live while we're talking. I'm just gonna move the photo editor into it, and I'm just gonna work on it while we're recording the rest of the episode. How's that?
Oh, and by the way, actually, while I'm on there, Rubik's is going to be actually hosting the Spacey Awards, and they were originally going to be canceled, along with the Space Coast Comic-Con because of the hurricane that we didn't end up getting. But I guess I don't know who reached out to who, but now the Spacey Awards are going to be at the Rubik's Cafe. It's going to be October 26th at 7 p.m., starting at 7 p.m.
Oh, no way. They're still doing it?
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So for those who don't know what the Spacey Awards are, it's something that Jake Estrada and David, I cannot remember his last name and feel like a jerk for not remembering. I apologize. But it's an event that they do every year where they give awards out to local artists, whether it be in comics, whether it be in books, music, acting, all that stuff. They give them these Spacey Awards, to recognize their hard work and such. Foxtail is actually one of the people who is up for special effects makeup. So that's pretty cool. Whether she wins or not, it's just cool that she was nominated. Wow, it sound like an Oscar speech there. But yeah, so it's a really cool event that puts a spotlight on local talent, and I really support it. I have not gone to one yet, and I know I say that I support it and I haven't gone to one yet, but I do plan on going to this one. So if you can make it, Rubik's Cafe first off is an awesome place to check out. It's a cool little hangout for anybody that's got a nerdy bone in their body. They got alcohol and food and all the Vigi games you can play. So
The Vigi
games, yep. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah. What about you, Mr. Triple B? I know we talked about this, I think, on one of the previous podcasts. So your son is just really killing it with this miniatures painting, correct?
Oh yeah, he's gotten just insanely into it, and that's become his new thing. And we bought him a bunch more miniatures, and he's been painting. And we might start him a YouTube channel. We might start him at an Instagram, maybe. We're not.
Well, you could probably start him with both those, and then on top of, so, and if he does get really good at it and starts doing commissions,
ooh,
painted.
commissions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
you'll have to let me know about that. I have the entire this large Batman game that I shite ton of miniatures I would love to have painted.
Yeah, I'll mention it to you for sure.
hmm Okay, so we got that going on. What other nerdy things are there? Let me double
I
check
have a
the.
quick question. This whole
Yeah.
Nub and Beyond, am I in the Beyond? Is that
Yes, you are part of the Beyond. You are actually
so?
one of our representatives for the Beyond because
Does that make me the bald bearded bard from Beyond?
yeah, so it'll be quadruple. It'll be
Oh,
B squared. B
come on,
squared now.
now we need another B on there. Come on now.
B squared. I love it. So actually, you know what? Since we are eventually doing the Nerd United Brevard and Beyond thing, Triple B, what kind of nerdy things I know that you kind of live a distance from like your local comic book store and things like that, but anything local nerdy going on? Well, first off, why don't you tell us roundabouts where you're located? Our listeners don't actually know that.
I am way out in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's pretty much nothing out here but cows.
Nerdy cows?
And nerdy cows.
Okay, good.
I don't think there. I think all of our seasonal cons and such are about wrapped up for the year.
Okay. And your local comic book store doesn't do like any like events or anything, or?
We've got one that's not far from here that has been trying to get things up and going. I know they were trying to get a D&D game off the ground,
Mm-hmm.
but after their initial game, I don't think I've heard anything else about that. They've been doing weekly Magic the Gathering games,
Mm-hmm.
and we keep meaning to make it out there to that, but haven't managed to make it out.
Well, so that the nerds in Brevard know how spoiled they are, why don't you tell them how far away your local comic book store is?
Oh, at least 40 miles away, at least.
Yeah, that's just I can't even imagine that. We have just in Brevard, just in the county that we live in. There are several nerd stores. I mean, we've got four comic book stores, three game store, no, four. Actually, I think closer to five or six, game stores as far as like board games and things like that. You know, and then we even have a couple of we have a couple video game stores like Ready Set Game, and then we even have a LAN center, which is Gamers Respawn. So we've got just a multitude of nerdy things going on here. So if you live in Brevard and you're not getting out and doing nerdy stuff, like what is your deal? Like what is wrong with you? You know, we now have two nerd bars even. We've got Quarters Brewery, if I'm not mistaken, they're Felton.
Yes.
And then they just opened up Rubik's, which is like an 80s themed center where you can go and drink and play games. So I mean, if you live in Brevard and you're not taking advantage of this stuff, you know, imagine poor quadruple B out there, poor B squared, having to drive 40 miles to they have to have their own family nerdiness. So he actually has to like sit around the table and like enjoy the company of his family, playing with
Oh, that
strangers.
sounds awful.
That sounds horrible. Absolutely horrible.
We do
Oh.
do family board game nights and family D&D, and I've got 5 kids, so I've got a whole D&D group right there.
And they're a captive audience because you're just like
Right.
you will sit at this table and you will play your bard or you will play your cleric.
Absolutely.
You'll like it. When I was growing up, you know, I had to walk. I had to, you know, I had to roll initiative uphill
That's
both
right.
ways.
Yeah.
So,
Kids today with their 5th edition, they just don't understand how spoiled they are.
yeah, you didn't have to survive 4th edition.
Don't even get me started on Thaco.
Those were dark days, my friend. Dark days indeed. Actually, it's funny. I still have a fondness for D&D 4th edition, but that's because that's where I started, and I can just hear the groans coming from some of our listeners. But that's where I started. I spent a good majority of my life wanting to play D&D, and I couldn't find anybody to play D&D with. For whatever reasons, I had friends that played D&D, but they never told me because they thought it was, whatever, too cool to play D&D or whatever the case may be. But ever since I saw, I think it's the third Nightmare on Elm Street, where they're playing D&D in the asylum. I was like, oh my god, like I've got to play that game. And yeah, it didn't happen until I was literally 30. But the cool thing is, my first game of D&D was actually in a psych facility. So I guess
Nice.
it just came back around.
Well, it's funny. My kids kind of fought playing D&D with me for years. They didn't want to read the books. They didn't want to put the time into learning it. And what tipped that over was that we started. I started watching Critical Role, which is a D&D um, show.
On
They film it,
YouTube's.
and yeah, and I let my oldest son stay up late and watch it with me. And when he realized that the dungeon master for this game also was the voice of McCree in Overwatch, he flipped his lid. He couldn't believe that McCree was a dungeon master in D&D. And so that was it. From then on, he was all about D&D and wanting to be a dungeon master because McCree was. So,
And what's funny is we talked about this on one of the earlier podcasts where you weren't there, B squared. But there was that whole thing about Joe Miglia and some douchebag on Instagram like took a picture in the mirror like all off and everything. Then he's like, I don't play D&D, And
yeah.
Second
and
prevent.
Joe Miglia sent the picture of him on like Muscle magazine with his shirt off, just ripped as hell, and it's like I do.
yeah.
It's awesome because he's actually got he has obviously like some kind of mansion or something like that, and he converted the wine cellar in this giant house into his D&D lair. So I mean that's how into D&D he is. He actually goes to like to hospitals and teaches sick kids how to play D&D and stuff. I mean he's really into it. So pretty awesome.
That's doing the whole famous thing right.
Exactly.
If you don't make your own D&D dungeon, then you've got to have a bat cave or something. But I mean,
I mean, you can have both. You can have a D&D Batcave. That looks really good there, Felton. If you're asking what I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just a whip. I mean that's basically what I'm going to go with. I'm going to adjust the
I like that.
the ripped paper, maybe put like tape holding it up on the left and right, or
that'd be
or
great.
some like tack, like thumbtacks. But I was going to change the banner to that. If you like it on the page.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it looks great. If you're asking what I'm talking about, if you're watching, if you're listening to us on YouTube, which that's the only way that we have it right now, we've been showing our feed through Discord, where we share like little memes and stuff. And Felton has gone and put the new look to Nerd and Brevard with the like added on like taped on piece of paper for the Beyond part. So yeah, it just kind of goes with our whole style. What the heck?
I typed in Discord memes in the gift search, and that's what popped up.
Okay, well there you go. So yeah, we are going to be really trying to capitalize on just making this bigger to so it's outside of Brevard but still in Brevard. Like we're still going to focus on like local events and local artists and entertainers and things like that. But I mean, we've got a lot of friends in Orlando, a lot of friends in other places that we'd like to kind of branch out to. So keep watching for that. We're also going to be looking for more admins, more people to share goofy stuff and things like that. So if you're interested, if you think you make a good admin, please you can actually just message us in this video and let us know. I mean, I'll be down.
Hey, did I don't think I mentioned it last week. Did I apparently have been having Pirate Coat update or Pirate Coat Watch 2019. Have I mentioned that last week?
No. So what this pirate coat is taking forever to get to your house? Was it from Wish?
No, it was from. Just to be fair, I'm not going to dog the website, okay? But it was from Medieval Collectibles, which I have had a history of good experience with. Okay, I got my V daggers from there. I bought other products from them. They've always shown up on time. This is the one oddity, and I refuse to leave a bad review just based on one bad experience. Mm-hmm. But I was supposed to get this as a Valentine's Day present. It is a a vertical striped black and white pirate coat that I wanted for my Beetle Buccaneer cosplay, right? And so this was supposed to be a Valentine's Day present. I got it.
February's coming around again.
Yeah. So I got it in the mail last week. They were out of larges. Now, to be fair, at the time I was working out and I was in shape, so I would have fit in a large, and that would have been great. But a series of unfortunate events, I packed on some weight, whatever it happens.
A series of delicious events.
Yeah, delicious events. There were a lot of bread involved. But so anyway, I said they said they were out of the larges. So well, let's just get an extra large. That's fine. So we reached out to them again. Oh, okay, we'll just do that. So they send it, and this thing like fits me, but the extra large is a little bit, still a little bit too tight, but it fits good. But oh my god, how many months is that?
You're gonna have to wear the girdle.
Yeah, right. Like what, February until now. So it's a beautiful coat. Like it's good quality. I like it. I'm not dogging them. But holy crap! And it just there was a lack of communication, and I don't know what happened. But hey, whatever. I got my pirate coat for Beetle Buccaneer. So next year at Dragon Con, I'll be bringing Beetle Buccaneer. So long as Hurricane Karen and Jerry and Bill and Frank don't show up and ruin everything.
So B squared. Whenever we are waiting for something starter, we now call it the whatever watch. Originally, it was the Ninja Turtles board game watch because I had gotten in on the Ninja Turtles board game Kickstarter back in the day, and it took, well over a year before I got it. So, and anytime we were waiting forever on something in the mail, it's the whatever watch. So if you have something you're waiting on the mail for, let us know.
Absolutely.
We'll add it to the whatever watch. But I guess now we didn't even get a chance to really do the best watch because you already got it. Like you didn't tell us in time.
Yeah, I just forgot. It's just all condensed into this one episode. That's fine. I'm probably going to name the episode Pirate Coat Watch 2019 Conclusion. And just, if we have any diehard fans that listen, like, what?
Yeah, wait, when did they talk about that?
Well,
I don't remember that at all.
I'm going to have to listen to all the other episodes. Oh, boy.
Yeah, starting from season 1.
Oh, man.
All 30-something from season 1.
That still blows my mind, though, that we've recorded and produced, essentially 2 seasons of a show. I think that's no small feat because a lot of things start off and people are going strong, and then it dies off and they let it go and they never do anything with it. But we've managed to still come back and keep it going.
It's because we don't really have a fan base and we're just doing this for ourselves, really.
There's 11 people that are happy that we do this. Okay, they keep coming back and watching it.
And let me tell you, I'm extremely thankful for those 5 people and the 6 times I view the same video. For coming back each time.
Yeah, I love you, Mom.
I mean, I'm extremely happy that there are people that have subscribed and they do come back and they
oh, stop it.
Oh, the Dogcast.
Oh, stop. Sorry, someone's trying to burglarize my house. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Get over
here.
The
Dogcast again.
Yeah.
But
it's fine.
Let me look real quick. I want to give actually shout out to one loyal listener who always she hits us up to let us know that she's excited that there's a new one. Let's see, what is with my internet today? Like everything. Well, anyways, talk amongst yourselves.
Are you talking about the one that comments on the YouTube page?
Yes, and I'm trying to find.
It's like RPG stories or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Here, let's see here. Inbox. Nothing is showing up right now. This is weird. This is very weird. Hold on a second. I don't think so. I'm the one that created the YouTube channels. All right, let me look at your channel. And oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible podcasting.
See, I think it's great. That's the thing.
Seriously, talk amongst yourselves while I look for this damn thing.
So Triple B.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo?
Oh, that's a tough one. You know, I had both when I was a kid, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to lean towards Sega Genesis.
RP
Really?
Cafe. RP Cafe. I just want to give a shout out to you. I don't know if it's a male or female, to be quite honest. It looks like a female picture, but it's a cartoon drawing. So male or female, either way, we are really happy that you listen to the podcast and that you like it. We really appreciate it, and all the comments that you put on there. Please keep commenting. Let us know things you want to hear about. Let us know things you don't like. Whatever the case may be, and tell your friends. Like let other people know that we're doing this crazy weird podcast that mainly we just do for ourselves. But anyways, I'm sorry. So Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
I played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid, like a lot.
I had a Super Nintendo. I'm sorry, I had a Sega Genesis until much later in life. And I will argue to the day I die that the Super Nintendo is the superior system of the two. And it's only because of the quality of the games that were made for the Super Nintendo as opposed to the games that were made for the Sega Genesis.
Oh,
that's just my...
Yeah, they had the Final Fantasy series. That's it. Boom, you're done.
But I mean, it wasn't just that. It was, they had the DK game.
Nope, you cut out.
The DK games.
There you go. Donkey Kong. Oh my God.
Yeah, they had all that stuff. Like, there's a lot of great games.
That's amazing.
But see, the nerdy kid that I was, it was all about the X-Men games for me, and that's where Sega was.
No, but they had those on the Super Nintendo as well.
Did they really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they had on both systems. The big difference. This was the argument when I was growing up for a lot of people. The Sega Genesis was the more adult version of the gaming systems, and that's why I had one, because I was trying to be cool and have like the edgier system. But really, if you look back at it game wise, Super Nintendo definitely had the better games. And that's my opinion. My opinion is correct in this instance, but that is my opinion.
Do you remember in the X-Men games, there was a special attack that you could do as Storm?
Where she did like the lightning in the different directions or something?
Yeah. And do you remember what happened when you hit the Toad enemies with lightning? The same thing that happened to everything else.
Oh God, I hate you. I don't know why I do this podcast with you. I absolutely deep down in my soul, in my bones, I hate you.
I don't know why anybody talks to me, to be quite honest.
I only did this podcast originally because I was hoping to meet somebody like B squared.
Yeah.
But now that I've met him, really, we should just cut you out.
Yeah, probably. God.
Won't even call it the Nubb podcast anymore. It'll just be, it'll be the Bearded Bard and the,
I'm gonna go and branch off and have my own podcast. It's gonna be called the Storm Podcast.
Let's go ahead and... Did I get cut out?
Yeah, you're cutting off.
I feel like I got cut out again. I think when I start looking up GIFs and stuff on this site, it starts to cut me out of speaking. Do you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, when you don't do anything, you're transmitting fine.
Yeah, I think when I'm trying to look stuff up GIF-wise, I might just do that on my phone. But anyways, so quadruple B squared is the one who rolled last podcast. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I rolled the podcast before that, so it'll be your turn to roll this time, Mr. Felton. And who would you like to roll before you? To add, subtract.
Triple B.
All right, Triple B. So you're gonna roll your die, and then you're gonna add to Felton.
All right, let's add. What are we adding? 4.
Add 4. All right. Let it rip, Felton.
I got 19.
Okay, so you got over 20. So who do you want to tell an embarrassing story this time?
You know what? I'm not going to continue the cycle of hate. So
Okay.
I know I got thrown under the bus last time. So why doesn't the Murse share something?
All right. Give me a second here. Let me. Oh, okay. Let me tell you about the time that I got punched in the face as a kid. When I was working my dad's haunted house. So I'm about 7 years old, right? And my dad has put on a haunted house basically since I was four, and and it was relatively scary back when I was younger. And there was this maze that we had in the where people would go through it, and there'd be things that that jumped out at them, like animatronic things at times, like a car, like the front end of a car or a boar's head, and then there were people that would do the scares as well, And so, when I got to be 6 or 7, somewhere in that area, I was still too young to really do the jump out scare stuff. I wasn't supposed to be doing it, but one of my cousins was in the haunted house, and he really in the maze part really needed to pee. So when he came out to go pee, I saw my opportunity. Like, this is my chance to prove myself as a scarer. Keep the family business going alive and scare the crap out of people. So I slide into his spot in the maze, and what it was basically is you had like this sheet that came down and covered you, a plastic sheet, because the whole maze was made out of plastic, right? And the sheet would kind of hide you from the patrons that were coming through the maze, and then you would jump out from behind the sheet, and it looked like just part of the wall, so it really scared you. Really could scare the crap out of people because they didn't see it coming, right? So there's a family. I'm not gonna not kind of, but as they went by, I watched the father was in front, because he's the brave one, So I was like, I'm not gonna jump at the father because he's probably not gonna get scared, right? And then mom was right behind him, and she looked a little scared by the whole situation. But again, I'm waiting for that sweet spot. The older brother follows mom, and again, not quite there yet. But they had a little girl about the age that I was walking behind him, and I was like, this is it. This is my absolute sweet spot. This is the part where I'm going to prove to the world that I am a scarer, that I am part of the family business, and that I can do this, So I just wait, just as she's in that one sweet spot that every scarer knows, where they're just past you, but like they can still see you when you jump out, right? So they've almost got their back to you. So I jump out and I give the biggest scream that I can, which of course, again, I'm like 6 or 7, so my scream is like ah. But
that was great.
Yeah, but that's about what it sounded like. And I mean, she leapt up, but I don't know if she takes kung fu. I don't know if it's just that she just she's lived a hard life in the streets. But this young this 6 or 7-year-old female child decks me so hard, she actually knocks me out of the maze, like through the back end of the maze, and I roll out, and I'm just I'm sitting on the floor, I'm just holding my face like, what the hell just happened? Honestly, one of the most embarrassing things, because the part of the maze that I was at too, it also it was backed up to one of the other displays. So, and the other display was the Frankenstein area, which was my dad's favorite spot to be because he built the Frankenstein from scratch, right? And so he would stand there as Igor with this animatronic Frankenstein whose heart would beat and the eyes would turn red and everything like that. Well, this being punched by this girl spilled me out into his little Frankenstein area. So now I've got my dad looking at me like, why the hell are you in the maze? I've got people that are walking by that see that this is supposed to be like a scary scene, and they just see this little kid falling on his butt. Not even I wasn't even wearing a costume, coming out of the maze. So of course they're laughing at me, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost cried. I was very upset by the whole situation. Obviously, I got in trouble. I was actually grounded for 2 weeks after that. I'm like, this is so. Long story short, I had to wait till I was, I think, 11 or 12 before I could go back in the maze as a scarer again. But I thought it was my opportunity. I thought it was my chance to really prove myself to the family, and it didn't quite work out. But
Long story short, I've spent the last 30 years plotting my revenge.
Yes, I've actually tracked this. She's about the same age as me, so she's almost. And I'm not gonna lie, I camp outside her car just waiting for the. I'm gonna scare the crap out of her, and I'm gonna bring those the boxer gloves with me. So when she tries to hit me, I'm just gonna put those up to protect myself, and off, and be like, "I got you, finally." So that's
right in the ego. Yes.
She did, like, it was terrible. Oh, and the best part is, because we're all friends and family. Time everybody was talking about it. Like, I didn't live that down for a couple of years. Actually, it took a while. So, anyways, but hey, I didn't poop myself. So
You didn't poop yourself because you ate spicy hummus.
Yes, I didn't. I didn't poop myself just because I have digestive issues. Anyways, so that's my embarrassing story. We can close the book on this one then. And I will say I'm the Murse.
It's me, Felton.
B squared.
And please, whatever you do, don't try to scare a 6 or 7-year-old.
Gosh. Nope, I think your audio cut out.
Mine did?
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. I'll fix it in post.
Oh, man.